What is up, guys, and welcome back into the Rams house. Thank you so much for stopping back into another Rams house video, and today I will be previewing the game of the week, Rams versus Bucks. This was a great game last year, and I'm fully anticipating this to be another great game this year. Talk about two teams coming in, I'm thinking having the biggest test for both of them of the season, and I think it's just going to be a really good one. Tom Brady for playing his first game in Los Angeles in his career. Hard to believe that he's never played there with how long his career has been. That's going to be a really fun storyline, and I think there's just a lot of fun that's going to be happening in this game, and I think it's going to be very high scoring as well. I think this is going to be a game where both offenses are really going to be having their way in a lot of instances. The defense will definitely be playing a big part. But when you look at both the Rams and the Buccaneers throughout the season, their defenses really, they've made some big plays, but they really have kind of been giving up a fair amount of points to teams. You look at the Buccaneers in the first two games, and they gave up 29 points to the Cowboys and 25 to the Falcons. And then you look at the Rams, who have a new defensive coordinator in Raheem Morris, who has given up only, I believe it was only like 14 points to the Bears, but they were still giving up longer drives. And then, you see them go to the Colts Stadium, and then they give up 24 points. So the Rams scheme, I know, is one so far that's, they're still gelling and they're still trying to find their identity, but so far it's looked like they're playing more of the bend but don't break the whole drive, and that can kind of come back to bite you because you're having teams putting up points, but even if they're not putting up a ton of points, they're getting long drives down the field and it's wearing out your defense, and you just got to try to get them off the field. So we'll see, how that comes back to bite them. You see Ramsey moving around. I think the pressure from both of the teams will be really key in this game. The Bucks have an amazing defensive line, honestly. It's a very scary defensive line. Then the Rams have an amazing defensive line as well, especially with Aaron Donald being in there. And so it's just going to be interesting to see how these defenses play one another, because you see the Rams having a new quarterback and they still really haven't showed their full playbook yet coming into week 3 with Stafford. Stafford's showing you some amazing flashes, and I think he can only get better with time in this offense. So it's going to really come down to these offenses. I think who can outscore the other one, and also what defense is going to make the big plays when it matters, and the big plays to get the ball back for you to try to get ahead. I think this game's going to come down to the wire, similar to last year, but I think with the departure of Brandon Staley, it's going to be harder to play this Bucks team, especially because they've gelled more since the last time we played them. They won the Super Bowl. I honestly do think this is going to be a really tough battle for both defenses. I understand that the Buccaneers defense was looking really good towards the end of the year, and in that playoff run they were looking really stout and they were just hard to play against. But to me, so far this year, I just have not seen that from them, and it could be due to a couple of their injuries that they've had. But I just don't honestly see that yet, and I think that it's going to be a bit of a weakness for them coming into this game, not having, obviously they have 2 games worth of Stafford, but I think that there's still not enough tape. There's obviously not the whole playbook. I think the Rams are going to have to play tough. They're going to have to establish that run game, especially because we don't know if Henderson is going to be playing because of that injury. You're going to have to try to establish that run game, but at the same time, this Bucks D-line is so tough, especially against the run. Like we saw against the Cowboys, it's just going to be a tough game to run. And so I think you're going to really have to establish the run if you can, but if not, you have to get going in the passing game, which I think both teams will be able to do. It's going to be a very tough, a very physical game, I think. And again, these defenses, I think, will let up. I feel like for the Rams side, at least, they're going to be letting up plays all game that are, giving up long drives, but they're not going to be too explosive plays. I think you'll see some here and there just because the Bucks are very explosive. But overall, I think there'll be just more long drives to the Bucks, which is kind of scary for me because obviously they have a good run game and they have an amazing passing game. So it's going to really be about that red zone defense and, who's going to come out on top on both defensive sides. I think the Rams are going to have to be keeping up this game. And again, the defense will really count. So that is my game preview. I'm going to be predicting probably a score around 30-27. Rams win just because we beat them last year with Goff. Yes, I understand that we lost Brandon Staley. Yes, I understand it's a completely different team. But I do think that with Sean McVay, I have faith in him that we can have an amazing offensive year this year just in general. And I think we'll be able to put together really good sequences against this Bucs team. And I think you just got to stay away from that pressure. As far as what you guys think, definitely let me know down below. Let me know if you're going to the game and what you think this game will entail. But aside from that, if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, even if you're just a fan of NFL in general, you're definitely welcome to the channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping through. Horns up and God bless.